Hey.
Here we are, Queen City Yoga, Marla Thomas and
Jess Ripley.
how we doing? Today we're going to talk to you about do's and don'ts in IHP Plus with weights. One of the things you'll notice when you come in for a weights class is your teacher will say to you, light to medium, medium, or medium to heavy. On a day that we are focusing more on legs, you can go heavier on your arms. When we are more arms focused, you want to do something that you can handle for a while, okay? First things first, wrists and elbows should always be in the same line. A lot of times when you're doing a bicep curl, you hold the weight really, really tightly. Get it into a position that feels comfortable, lift, and lower. What happens if the weight's too heavy or if the right wrist and elbow are in the same line, we break the line of the wrist and you'll see them something like this, where the wrist and fingers are kind of relaxed in that position. You're always going to keep that wrist in a straight position so you can maximize muscle and bone alignment. Same for a hammer curl, same position. Hammer curl is when the weights are down. She's just going to open and close. What happens here if the hand gets a little tired, the arms get tired, we can bend one of two ways, in or out, and sometimes even break it that way. So, when Jess turns to the front, she's going to show you an upright row. When we do an upright row, we touch the buttons toward each other, relax the shoulders down and back, and then just pull to about the height of your chest. In this position, you notice that the wrist is just going to do its natural thing. We're not trying to manipulate the wrist at all. If we start to move the elbows and the shoulders in the wrong direction too high, the wrist will turn in. Sometimes we even turn them out, and sometimes we turn them into sauerkraut. Just kidding. The next thing here is when we do a deadlift. When we do something like a deadlift, we try to just bend forward in a hip position. So from here, you'll notice, if we get the camera a little lower, when Rip is in this position, she's going to lean forward and then stand back up. If she was standing on the floor, what you'd see here is the wrist is in a nice straight position. From the elbow to the wrist, you can see one beautiful straight line. What happens sometimes is that people start to manipulate the actual weight in the hand. So when we go down, we turn, and when we come back, we turn back up. That position is just rocking the wrist back and forth. We just want to hold it as if you were holding like a suitcase. So just drop the suitcase to the floor and try to pick the suitcase back up. The most important thing when you're lifting here is that you don't have so much tension that you start to create the need to use your wrist and use your hand. Often in this position, we just let the fingers relax, let the weight drop, and the wrist will be in the right position. So when you hold your weights, make sure that you don't overgrip so tightly that the fingers start to get white, or relax so much that the wrist starts to bend forward. So your do is elbow, wrist in the same line. Whenever you see that line break, you have got to go back to straight position. That will maximize the workout and the muscle contraction. See you in the hot room.